I had been practicing in family practice for about 10 years, and I needed a solution for my patient's health. With diabetes today, just side note, diabetes is metformin plus one, metformin plus two, metformin plus three, and maybe you're going to end up on insulin. I needed a plus four. I needed a plus five. I needed a solution because we were running out of medication options for diabetics and people that were overweight and obese. And then I come to learn about this product. And when you understand how it works, and you understand that the guidelines in medicine actually used to speak to the ingredients in here, which were phytosterols and 10 to 25 grams of highly viscous soluble fibers. And you're like, I recognize the ingredients. I said, those are in the guidelines. Okay. Now, unfortunately, medicine has gotten into pills first and nutrition second, which isn't the way it's supposed to be, but they just don't believe anybody's going to make any nutritional changes. I think that's where it's gotten to. So they just said, medication. And it was disheartening 10 years ago to be at a place where I needed something for my patients. The patients that I look at in the eye, and it hurts me to put them on another medication that I knew wasn't really going to solve their problem. How many pills are going to solve a nutritional problem? Essentially, it's a nutritional deficiency. And in diabetes, very interesting. Overweight and obesity, very interesting. And all of it is connected to, I say type 2, I should say that most diabetes and most of our metabolic and chronic diseases are connected back to our health. That's connected to our nutrition. So it's what you do and what you don't do. And most of today's problems are what people are not doing. So what I recognized in this product balance, people were not eating the ingredients that were in here. Right. And because of that, their insulin levels and their glucose levels were skyrocketing. And when the insulin's high, they're gaining weight. And when they're gaining weight, they're pushing themselves closer and closer to diabetes. And so it's this cycle that I keep throwing medicine in, doesn't really help. But when I changed nutritionally what they were doing, the composition of what they were digesting, all of a sudden, blood sugars and insulin started to stabilize. All of a sudden, they lost weight. They felt better. People felt better, that's for sure. GI problems, they were feeling better. And a magic thing happened. People wanted to continue doing that. They wanted to continue doing healthy. So very interesting, because that product changed my whole view of medicine. It changed the way where I'm like, why are we throwing something here at the end for a problem when we could be right here in the nutrition where it's either creating the problem or not creating the problem, creating a benefit or creating a problem. So I started using this and very excited to do it. It solved a major, major problem. Guess what? We still have the same problem. We still have the same problem because not everybody's using this, but there's a new problem and it hurts my heart. And I'm really having a hard time with this one because, as we know, COVID has changed the whole world dynamic. And 90% of my day is spent either treating people for COVID and I could tell you almost every single patient. I could tell you who's in the hospital right now. I can tell you that I've called that patient's family every single day for the last 15 days. I can tell you when I go home at night and I try to go to sleep, I cannot go to sleep without praying for this person. And, part of this thing is upsetting to me because COVID didn't cause these problems. COVID exploited these problems. In other words, if you look at all the problems, the people that are at risk, high blood pressure, diabetes, guess what? Overweight and obesity, kidney problems, overweight and obesity causes all of those things. So we have a weight problem that started with a nutritional problem, a deficiency from what was not in the diet and what is here. And that's why it has so much impact today on people's health.